Lesson number 79 is about systems of equations with subscripted variables. Now our problem asks us to solve the following system for r sub a. And in this problem, we have r sub a times t sub a plus r sub p times t sub p equals 320. Now what we know r sub p equals 50. We know t sub p equals 4. And we know t sub a equals 3. So we want to solve the following system for r sub a. That's right here. So we need to figure out what r sub a equals. And we're going to do that by substituting our other values into our equation and then solving through. So if we do that, we know r sub a is what we're trying to find times t sub a. T sub a is 3. So r sub a times 3 plus r sub p is 50, times t sub p, and t sub p equals 4. And this whole thing equals 320. So while this problem might have looked pretty intimidating to begin with, or pretty complicated, all it is substitution, just like we've worked with multiple times before. So we're going to get r sub a times 3 plus 50 times 4, that's 200, will equal 320. Then to find our final answer, well, let's go ahead and subtract 200 so we can get our next step. And we'll do that from both sides. And we're going to get r sub a times 3 is equal to 320 minus 200 is 120. And then we need to figure out what number times 3 equals 120. Well, that's the same thing as saying 120 divided by 3, and that must be 40. So r sub a must equal 40. And we've got our final answer. Now we could go back and check to make sure we're right by substituting it into our initial equation. 40 times 3 is 120 plus 200. 120 plus 200, that's 320. You could probably do that one with mental math as we go. We've got another equation to look at. Here we want to solve the following system for r sub f and r sub e. Now here's our equation that we're given. R sub f times t sub f equals r sub e times t sub e. We're given these things. But notice, r sub e is just given to us as r sub f plus 15. So it's slightly different than the last problem. But we solve it the same way. We just substitute our known values into the equation that we're working with. So t sub f is 16. So r sub f times 16 is going to be equal to r sub e. Well, that's going to be r sub f plus 15 times our t sub e. T sub e is 12. And now we can go ahead and solve. If we go ahead and solve this, well, we're going to get r sub f times 16 is equal to, then we need to use the distributive property to help find our answer. 12 times r sub f plus, and 15 times 12, well, 15 times 12, if you think about that with mental math, it's kind of like saying 15 times 10 plus 15 times 2 more. 15 times 10 is 150. 15 times 2 is 30. So we add those together. 15 times 12 must be 180. And now we can figure out our answer. Let's go ahead and figure out our answer by subtracting 12 r sub f from both sides. If we do that, well, just remember that order of multiplication here doesn't matter. So it's 16 r sub f minus 12 r sub f. And 16 minus 12 is 4. So we get 4 r sub f is going to be equal to 180. Then we need to divide both sides by 4 to figure out what r sub f is equal to. 180 divided by 4, well, if we cut 180 in half, that's 90. And then we cut that in half again, we get 45. So we've got our answer. R sub f must be equal to 45. We could check our work again by substituting it into both of our r sub f, making sure the left side equals the right side. And in this problem, they do. We've got the correct answer, and we can move on to the next problem. Almost. Be careful. This is where we need to make sure we've read the directions. We've got r sub f equals 45. But we also needed this. So always double check you've answered everything. Because we've almost done everything. We've done all the hard part. R sub e is equal to r sub f plus 15. R sub f is 45. So 45 plus 15 tells us what r sub e is. R sub e, that must equal 60. We had done 99% of our work through here, but we only had half of our answer. Make sure you do everything that the problem asks you to do. I'll circle this one in red since that's the color we used to answer it. Our lesson practice will be on page 325. Nice work with your lesson today, but make sure you've got all your notes complete. And I'll see you during our next class.